A powerful winter storm is building strength across the United States, and the Deep South is preparing for something it rarely sees: record-breaking snow. Communities that are more familiar with warm winters and mild breezes are now facing the possibility of icy roads, closed schools, and snow-covered neighborhoods. Meteorologists are closely watching this developing system, warning that it could bring one of the most unusual winter weather events the region has experienced in decades. As the storm moves eastward, cold Arctic air is colliding with moisture from the Gulf of Mexico. This combination is creating the perfect conditions for heavy snowfall across states that normally see very little winter precipitation. Cities across Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, and parts of Georgia are now under winter storm alerts. Forecast models suggest that some areas could see several inches of snow, something that might sound ordinary for northern states but is extremely rare in the Deep South. Residents are already beginning to prepare. Grocery stores are seeing increased activity as people stock up on food, bottled water, and emergency supplies. Local governments are urging citizens to stay informed and avoid unnecessary travel once the storm arrives. Because snow and ice are so uncommon in this region, road infrastructure and snow removal equipment are limited. Even a small amount of ice can quickly turn highways and bridges into dangerous driving conditions. Air travel may also be affected as the storm intensifies. Airports across the region are monitoring conditions and preparing for possible delays or cancellations. When temperatures drop below freezing and precipitation begins to fall, runways can become icy very quickly. Airlines are advising travelers to check their flight status and remain flexible with their travel plans over the coming days. Power outages are another concern. Heavy snow combined with freezing rain can place significant weight on power lines and tree branches. If branches snap and fall onto electrical lines, large areas could lose power. Utility crews are already preparing equipment and response teams to restore electricity as quickly as possible if outages occur. Schools and businesses are also watching the forecast carefully. In many southern cities, even a small snowstorm can lead to closures because roads are not treated the same way they are in colder climates. Officials are considering early dismissals or temporary shutdowns to keep students and workers safe. Safety remains the top priority as this rare weather event approaches. For many families in the Deep South, the idea of snow is both exciting and concerning. Children may be eager to see snowflakes falling from the sky, build snowmen, or experience winter scenery that usually exists only in movies. At the same time, adults understand the challenges that winter weather can bring to a region not fully equipped to manage it. Emergency management agencies are encouraging residents to prepare now rather than wait until the storm arrives. Simple steps such as charging phones, preparing flashlights, and checking heating systems can make a big difference if conditions worsen. People are also being reminded to check on elderly neighbors and anyone who might need extra help during extreme weather. As the storm system continues to develop, forecasters will be monitoring its path and intensity closely. Weather patterns can change quickly, and even slight shifts in temperature or moisture could affect how much snow actually falls. However, all signs point to a significant winter event that could rewrite records and create scenes rarely witnessed across the southern United States. In the coming days, the Deep South may transform into a winter landscape unlike anything seen in years. Streets, rooftops, and open fields could soon be covered in white, creating a striking contrast to the region's typical winter climate. While the snowfall may bring moments of beauty and wonder, it will also require caution, preparation, and patience as communities navigate this extraordinary winter storm. Record-breaking snow threatens the Deep South. A rare winter storm is expected to bring unusual and potentially record-setting snowfall to southern states like Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, and Georgia. The Deep South is facing an extraordinary weather event as a powerful winter storm moves across the region, threatening record-breaking snowfall in areas that rarely see any significant winter weather. This storm is unusual, not only because of its intensity, but also because of the region it is affecting. States such as Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, and Georgia are typically accustomed to mild winters, with occasional light rain or cold fronts, but substantial snowfall is almost unheard of. The anticipation of heavy snow has created an atmosphere of both excitement and concern among residents. Communities that are more familiar with warm temperatures and sunny days are now preparing for something that could disrupt daily life in unprecedented ways. Meteorologists and weather experts have been closely monitoring this developing system, warning that it has the potential to break records and create conditions that could challenge even the most prepared cities. The forecasted snowfall, if it materializes as predicted, could be historic, leaving a mark on local weather history and creating a situation that few in the region have ever experienced. Schools, businesses, and families are beginning to make preparations, recognizing that even a few inches of snow in these states can have serious consequences. Local governments are issuing advisories, urging citizens to take the warnings seriously and to make necessary arrangements in advance. Roads that are rarely treated for ice or snow could quickly become treacherous, making travel dangerous. Families are stockpiling essential supplies, ensuring they have enough food, water, and heating options to manage if the storm causes prolonged disruptions. The combination of cold Arctic air and moisture from the Gulf of Mexico is creating an unusually potent weather system that could produce more snow than many communities are equipped to handle. This scenario is creating an unusual mix of anticipation and caution, as residents look forward to seeing snow for the first time in years, while also understanding the challenges it brings. The potential for power outages, transportation delays, and emergency situations makes preparation essential. This storm is not just another winter front, it represents a rare and potentially historic event for the Deep South, demanding attention, planning, and caution from everyone in its path. Communities are bracing for a significant winter experience, one that could redefine expectations for what southern winters can bring. Combination of Arctic air and Gulf moisture. The storm is fueled by cold Arctic air meeting moisture from the Gulf of Mexico, creating conditions for heavy snow in regions that rarely experience it. The unusual winter storm approaching the Deep South is fueled by a rare combination of cold Arctic air meeting warm, moist air from the Gulf of Mexico, creating ideal conditions for heavy snowfall in regions that are unaccustomed to winter weather of this magnitude. This type of meteorological collision is uncommon for the southern United States, where winters are typically mild and snow is rare. As the cold, dense air from the north moves southward, it encounters the humid, warm air rising from the Gulf, causing moisture in the atmosphere to condense rapidly. This condensation produces snow instead of rain, a phenomenon that is highly unusual for states like Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, and Georgia. Meteorologists are noting that the interaction between these air masses has the potential to produce heavy, wet snow, which is particularly dangerous in areas where roads are not equipped to handle icy conditions. The dynamics of this storm are complex, with temperatures fluctuating near the freezing point in some areas while remaining slightly warmer in others. These slight variations can determine whether precipitation falls as snow, sleet, or freezing rain, adding an additional layer of unpredictability to the event. Forecast models are suggesting that the storm could bring multiple inches of snow in regions that might normally only see dustings or flurries, potentially setting records for snowfall in these southern states. Because this combination of Arctic cold and Gulf moisture is so rare, many local governments and residents have little experience with snow management on this scale. Roads, bridges, and public infrastructure are often unprepared for the weight and slipperiness of snow, making early warnings and preparation essential. Emergency management teams are emphasizing that even a few inches of snow can have serious consequences, including accidents, traffic delays, and power outages. Residents are being encouraged to monitor weather updates continuously and to prepare their homes and vehicles for winter conditions. This storm serves as a striking example of how different air masses can collide to produce severe weather, and it highlights the need for vigilance and readiness in areas that are not accustomed to snow. The rare combination of frigid northern air and humid Gulf moisture is the driving force behind a historic weather event that could leave a lasting impact on the Deep South. Communities are watching carefully as the storm develops, aware that this unique atmospheric alignment could transform the region into a winter landscape unlike anything experienced in decades. Safety and preparedness concerns. Residents are urged to prepare with emergency supplies, avoid unnecessary travel, and check heating systems due to icy roads, limited snow removal infrastructure, and potential power outages. As the Deep South prepares for a winter storm of unprecedented proportions, the focus on safety and preparedness has become more urgent than ever. Residents in states like Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, and Georgia are being advised to take proactive measures to protect themselves, their families, and their property from the potential hazards this rare snowstorm could bring. Safety concerns are heightened in this region because winter weather is uncommon, and local infrastructure is not typically equipped to handle heavy snowfall or icy conditions. Roads, bridges, and public transportation systems in the South are often unprepared for winter precipitation, making even a small amount of snow or ice a serious threat. Drivers may encounter slick streets and black ice, which can lead to accidents and injuries if precautions are not taken. Authorities are emphasizing the importance of limiting travel during the storm and advising people to stay indoors whenever possible. Emergency services and law enforcement agencies are preparing for an increased demand for assistance, including traffic accidents, stranded vehicles, and medical emergencies, which could be complicated by icy roads and limited accessibility. Power outages are another significant concern, as heavy snow and ice accumulation can weigh down tree branches and electrical lines. Residents are encouraged to have backup sources of light, heat, and communication, such as flashlights, batteries, and charged mobile devices. Families are advised to prepare emergency supply kits with food, water, medications, and other essentials to minimize risk in case of temporary isolation or loss of utilities. Home safety is equally important, with recommendations to check heating systems, insulate exposed pipes, and secure outdoor objects that could be damaged or become hazards during the storm. Schools, businesses, and public institutions are closely monitoring weather updates to make timely decisions regarding closures or early dismissals to keep communities safe. Information campaigns and alerts from local governments are critical in ensuring that residents remain informed about evolving conditions and can act quickly if the storm intensifies. The emphasis on preparedness reflects a broader understanding that even rare winter events can have major consequences if ignored. By taking proactive safety measures, residents can reduce the risks associated with extreme weather, protect vulnerable populations, and ensure that communities are better able to cope with the challenges posed by a record-breaking winter storm. This combination of awareness, planning, and caution is essential for navigating what could be one of the most extraordinary winter events the Deep South has ever seen. Impact on transportation and utilities. Airports may face delays or cancellations, highways could become dangerous, and heavy snow may cause power outages by damaging power lines and tree branches. The approaching winter storm in the Deep South is expected to have a significant impact on transportation and utility systems, creating challenges for both residents and authorities. Airports across the region are closely monitoring conditions, preparing for potential delays and cancellations as snow and ice make runways hazardous. Even a relatively small accumulation of snow can quickly disrupt air travel, as airports in southern states rarely have the equipment or procedures in place to handle winter weather. Airlines are advising passengers to remain flexible with travel plans and to check flight statuses frequently, as conditions can change rapidly. On the ground, highways, bridges, and secondary roads are at high risk of becoming dangerously slippery, increasing the likelihood of traffic accidents. Many drivers in the region are inexperienced with snow and ice, which further heightens the risk of collisions. Local transportation departments are mobilizing resources where possible, but limited snow removal equipment and road treatment capabilities mean that residents must exercise extreme caution if travel is unavoidable. Public transportation systems, including buses and trains, may also experience delays or route adjustments, complicating commutes and daily routines. Beyond transportation, utility systems face significant pressure from the storm. Heavy snow and ice accumulation can weigh down power lines and tree branches, potentially causing widespread power outages. Utility companies are preparing crews and emergency response plans to address outages as quickly as possible, but restoring service in the face of heavy snow can be slow and challenging. Cold temperatures combined with power loss pose risks to vulnerable populations, particularly the elderly and those with medical conditions, making preparedness even more critical. Communities are being advised to have backup power sources, such as generators or battery packs, and to keep emergency supplies on hand, including food, water, and heating materials. In addition, residents are encouraged to report downed power lines or hazardous conditions promptly to ensure a coordinated response. The combination of transportation disruptions and potential utility failures underscores the need for careful planning and caution in the days leading up to the storm. By staying informed, limiting travel, and preparing for potential outages, communities can mitigate the effects of this rare and powerful winter event. The anticipated challenges highlight the broader impact of the storm, which extends far beyond simple snowfall and demands attention, foresight, and coordinated action from both authorities and residents to maintain safety and continuity. Community and family preparedness. Schools, businesses, and families are taking precautions, and emergency agencies encourage checking on vulnerable individuals while staying updated on storm developments. As the Deep South braces for an unprecedented winter storm, the importance of community and family preparedness cannot be overstated. In regions where snow is a rarity, residents often have limited experience dealing with the challenges that winter weather brings, making proactive measures essential. Families are being encouraged to prepare their homes and daily routines well in advance, ensuring that they have the necessary supplies to remain safe and comfortable throughout the storm. Emergency kits with essentials such as non-perishable food, bottled water, flashlights, batteries, and first aid supplies are critical, as power outages and limited mobility may make it difficult to access stores or other resources. Homes should also be checked for proper insulation and heating functionality, as maintaining warmth is crucial when temperatures drop and utilities are threatened. Beyond individual households, attention to vulnerable community members is a key aspect of preparedness. Elderly neighbors, people with medical conditions, and those living alone may require additional support during severe weather. Checking in on these individuals, offering assistance with groceries or medications, and ensuring they have functioning heating and communication devices can make a significant difference in safety outcomes. Schools and businesses are also taking precautions, with administrators monitoring forecasts to determine if early closures or delayed openings are necessary to keep students and employees safe. Families must adapt their schedules, possibly planning for remote work or home-based schooling if roads become impassable. Communication is another critical element of preparedness, as weather conditions can change rapidly. Residents are being advised to stay informed through official channels, such as local government alerts, meteorological updates, and community messaging systems. Having multiple ways to receive information, including mobile alerts, radios, and social media notifications, ensures that no one is caught unaware. Preparing for entertainment and activities at home can also help families cope with being confined indoors for extended periods. Simple measures such as planning meals, organizing indoor activities, and ensuring access to necessary medications reduce stress and help maintain normalcy during disruptions. Community centers, emergency shelters, and public assistance programs may also be available to support those in need, highlighting the importance of staying connected and aware of local resources. Ultimately, the combination of careful planning, awareness, and proactive measures can help families and communities navigate the challenges of a rare and potentially historic winter storm. By taking these steps, residents in the Deep South can protect themselves, support one another, and minimize the risks associated with extreme weather conditions.